Damned either way, says the TI. Okay, damned either way. I told you all that I will pop in here and there over the next couple of weeks, but you won't see me or hear me as often. But I just might surprise you. And a part of that is for me and my son's health and well being and safety, since we are targeted individuals. Okay, I'm keenly aware that this has spread far beyond the little corner that we were imprisoned in. And yes, I do use those terms, imprisoned, even though it was in a coercive, covert type of a way. Now, what happens with the TI? Much like, many of us have seen situations with somebody surviving domestic violence, especially for women. And we hear the classic story of women with these situations, and everyone from their friends and family and anyone else all asks the same questions. The therapist asks the same questions, the clergy asks the same questions, everyone that they ever go to asks the same question. Okay, survivor of domestic violence lady, if it is so bad, if it's so horrible, if your life is in danger, if it was such a crummy, bad person in place, why did you stay so long? Why are you reluctant to leave? That's what they're asked. Then it's the undertone. It must not have been that bad because, you're complaining, you're saying, but we don't see you leaving. We see that you're smiling, you taking pictures, bitch, and you know, she talking with you. You said your life was in danger. You said you're being abused. You said that behind closed doors or when the world is not watching, they're doing all manner of weird things to you, and you stayed even. And the person, they say, the survivor will say, well, what about money? Okay, but the people tend to say this: it doesn't matter. If you really feel like your life is in danger, you wouldn't mind being in a shelter. You wouldn't mind, hear me out, because this is the train of human psychology. If you really are that, even though it's not ideal and it's not comfortable and it is going to put, you in a certain way, but if you are absolutely for certain and convinced that you or your children's life are at stake, wouldn't that be better? It would be hard, but just, it's always the kind of like the cushy life. They don't leave because the abuser is paying the bills. The abuser is, keeping them in a certain way where they don't have to worry about being subject to maybe living in no bunker with a bunch of people, or, you know what I'm saying, to something raggedy or whatever. And so they stay because they get, they got a roof over their heads and food to eat in some cases, even though it may be poisoned food, but they do have some food. Slowly killing their ass. But anywho, um, so the TI is damned either way. Because, see, this is what they do when the TI leaves. If the TI leaves without announcing it to the world so that everybody can then strategize accordingly, if the TI leaves, then it's like they're fickle. You see, it's going to go back to the same narrative that they've been fashioning. See, they're fickle. They're flighty. They're running away from life's responsibilities and problems. They have hidden agenda, hidden motive. They're sneaky. Yeah, you will be sneaky when people trying to kill you, dear. Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, you are gonna be that when you know that you have a bunch of sophisticates with nothing but money and time to follow you around with an agenda to study you like a lab rat, lab rat. with an agenda. Ooh, let's see if Little Red Riding Hood walks in circles because they. Ooh, let's see. Yeah. Let's have fun. Let's watch them struggle. Todd. Ooh, this is fun. So, yeah, the TI is sneaky. Absolutely. But unlike the karmics and those that are actually harassing them, they don't have ill will and hidden dishonor. It's not about malicious intent. It's not about being greedy. It's not about trying to hurt people, harm people, anything like that. It's about preservation for them. It's preservation. People are entitled to their life. They're entitled to their energy, their vibration. They feel entitled to their whereabouts. They feel entitled because somebody made a bum deal and offered them some insurance. Uh-oh. Offered them some insurance money. They had no business. Ponzi schemes. Offered them somebody else's inheritance, somebody else's money, usually the targets. And the only evidence of it is the targets. And if we can manage if we can manage to crazify, I'm making up some new words. If we can crazify them, then the world won't listen to them. So they're damned either way as it pertains to this physicality, I'll say, as it pertains to this material matrix world, because no matter which way they spin and turn, it's torture. If they stay, they're tortured. They may not make it. They may not survive. It's barely surviving and existing, if that. If they stick to these programs, which ends up turning out to serve these agendas, and they stick with these things, then once again, it's just going to be this shit show, this endless circus shit show of people pretending to not provide information because it's not the rules to, but they do it. So, they can hop around in a program all they want. The problem is going to be the program, not the place. I put a post on this platform. I think I said that it's the problem is it's not the place, it's the program. In other words, it's not about finding a different location under the program. And when the target has done that 3 times, they have enough data. One time, it's plausible that they're tripping. The second time, it's starting to look fishy. The third time, it's a pattern. That leads them to accept what is the hardest thing to accept and what is almost difficult to ever prove because of, like this gentleman said on his TikTok, because of how they do it. They do it the way they do it to hide. I think he said it eloquently, to hide. That's why they do it that way. To try to hide substantial evidence of their conduct and behavior, motives and intentions. So the targets realize that the judicial system is not really there to serve them. It's not. Even with the RICO case stuff, I don't even know. Like, I think it serves to a degree. I'll say it that way. Maybe. And I think that's on a case-by-case basis. As far as this matrix stuff is concerned, they're damned either way. Because when you have people that's wanting to control your life and play God, because that's what this is, whether it's under a religious guise, government, politics.
We're doing okay.
Oh, we are, my dear. I'm almost done.
No, take
Excellent.
your time, no rush.
Okay. Yeah, we're good. So, yeah, whatever, guys. People's personal agendas, they don't like you. I mean, humans are fascinating. They woke up with a stick up their ass. And not the, whatever. They don't like you. For some humans, that's all it takes. Well, I ain't going to speak on how I was raised. Let me let that go. But I really wasn't raised that way. I was raised by my grandmother. But I really wasn't raised that way, though. So somebody you don't like, you don't like, okay, welcome to Earth. You don't like them. You don't like them? Doesn't that sound a little bit narcissistic? When it comes to how far these people are willing to go because they don't like somebody. Because for some of us, it's a mixed bag of all of that. They're able to get people to do shit because the people that they get to do shit don't like you. That's how they're able to do it. And they'll spin a lie, which, that soothes those people's egos because they don't like you. And so they love to hear the stories about how you're this horrible person because that makes them feel valid and right about being crazy. Yeah, I knew they would, Yeah. Yeah. So yes, the targets are sneaky. When you have people coming for your life, you will be. You will be. I don't care what nobody say. They can sit up and have meetings until all meetings have been ended for all time. Somebody's coming for your life. Whether you can convince people or not, and you know it, you are going to be sneaky. It's preservation. You're not going to willingly be a victim if you can help it. Not if you can help it. I mean, sometimes we're blindsided, but you're not if you can help it. So if you know that people are doing things because they are nosing in ways in which they have no business. Why are you But, this helps the agenda because, unfortunately, a lot of humans are surface thinkers, and I don't mean that in a condescending way. People, I don't mean it in that way. It's an observation. It's not a judgment. I've been that way at certain stages of my life where you're just, you're conditioned, and that's it. That's it. It's not a question of intelligence. It's just, that's it. So you don't question deeper. You don't know that there's something beyond what you know and what you've been told. And you just take this shit at face value because this person got a plaque on the wall and got glowing testimonies and shit, like as if that couldn't be purchased. I'm just saying. I'm not implying that they're always purchased. I'm just saying these things are plausible, aren't they? It's not hard. Money can move a whole lot of things. It ain't hard. Once you put money on the table, you can get yourself a fake nice reputation. Oh, yes, you can. You can purchase yourself a fake nice reputation. You can purchase yourself a degree that you didn't earn. Yes, you can. You can purchase yourself talent that's not yours. Oh. Dun, dun, dun. You got money and power, but it ain't much. It ain't much you can't do. Hey. So this is why this, I'm saying all that to say, this is why this works. All they got to do is dangle a few carrots. Most folks is thirsty as fuck. They want to get out of the ghetto. And if they're not in the ghetto, they just want to be able to stay in the position in which they're in with ease and grace. So just, spin them a narrative that soothes their religious itch, their pretension, so they can really they can make this feel like this is purpose driven. This is a purpose. Oh, that's real fun. That's a favorite. Because people feel, they be on that. This is on some, yeah, you're a stalker. Okay, they're stalkers. Let's despiritualize this shit. They're stalkers. They're illegal surveillancers. Because, it is, yeah. They're trying to cause psychological problems. That ain't no purpose. It's a purpose, all right. A malevolent one by a tyrant that they are colonized by. That's no purpose. Ain't nothing loving, walking, or should I say loving in existence in the universe. The vibrations of essence of benevolence behaving. Somebody's gonna say, well, love is not all sugar. Okay, don't play. Yeah, you'll lose that one. You'll lose that argument with me every time. Every time. When I get to going, I'll lose it. Because that's something that typical abusers say. Unloving, harsh, abuse culture. Tough love boot camp / it's abuse because you ain't dealt with your trauma, so now you're trying to beat the hell out your kid and you ain't dealt with your anger issues and you really super mad about your shit and the child being a child and going through the natural processes of what that actually is, but you didn't get yourself educated on that because you've been fucked up. And so, but instead of looking at all that, it turns into super tuber triple checking the kid because they're being a kid, they're being a teenager. And you didn't deal with the fact that you were abused by your mom and daddy and you had to grow up super fast and you were robbed of a life and you blah, 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 blah. And so every fucking thing they do, they have an attitude, yeah, that's a teenager. Education. Hormones, the process of development. Some of us, we grown and we doing that. How come we ain't on punishment? Shit. Uh-oh. I'm just saying. It's like, we got nerve. How come is somebody gonna put us on punishment then? We need to be put on punishment. Shit. Always trying to tell the teenagers. But we are a living example. They're mirroring some of us. They need to have better control over. Do you have better control over your anger? They need to watch their mouth. Are you watching yours? Or do you say whatever the hell you want to say to whomever you want to say from an adult standpoint, from even as an adult? Do you not have restraint and you're wanting them to practice a restraint that you can't practice? Our hormones or development is supposed to be a little bit further down the line than theirs, so we're actually supposed to have it. If they're a teenager, hormonally speaking and physiologically speaking, some of the stuff they be doing is
on a timeline, it's actually where it's supposed to be. It's normal range. Not to say it's okay, everything with a grain of salt. We're not talking about letting them slap you across the head. But them being mouthy and sassy and we call discipline abuse oftentimes, and that's because we come from an abuse culture. And then be mad that the kid don't really have no respect, and then that they try to get away from you as soon as they can because, yeah, the targets say they're damned in this matrix reality because they can't please anybody. You know how the saying says you can't please everybody? No, they can't please anybody because nobody wants to be pleased by them. They are a target of torture. No one wants to be pleased. They are programmed to go against. They have no interest. The collective can tap dance, pour sugar, syrup, kiss ass, and you know what's going to happen with that? Guess what? They don't have any respect for the target. They say the target is a simp. They say they are weak. They say they all. You see that? So there's nothing. Oh, the target talks too much, and then when they stop talking, then is they iffy, they sometimey. If they dress up, they think they fine. They smell themselves. They they think they cute. They think they better than, what I'm saying. If they've managed to fix up one day, yeah. And then when they're not that, when they're, barely surviving and just, roughing it, because they're not glued to their physicality the way most of the world is, they know that they're beyond that. They care for it, but they know that they're beyond it. They know their identity is not tied. They also know what's taking place that's affecting their physical. But when that happens, then what else you get? Oh, I'm going to prove this over time. Then you get in them lounge time looking at, oh my God, they don't love themselves. Oh my God, did you see how they look? Oh my God, they looked horrible. They just look like they having such a horrible child. So which one do they want? See, damned either way. What do they want? It's never going to be pleased by the target. Because they are programmed to not be pleased by the target. They're not going to understand. They already made their mind up that they don't want to understand. They're programmed to not understand. The target could be intelligent, eloquently, facts, data. It wouldn't matter. They've already had their minds made up. Because it's based on each one of their own mindsets and programmings. So once again, the target's damned either way. They go through this all the time. They catch up later in their journey, and this is when major transformation happens for them. Because they realize, like, oh, okay, this is a game. I get it. This is a circus. I'm their entertainment for now. That's what this is. They want to see what they can get me to do. And when I don't give them what they want, then it's like a huff and puff. Oh, let's pay people to ghost them so they can chase and cry. And when that don't happen, oh, they didn't love them. Oh, they wasn't real. They didn't really love them. They didn't love them. It was a part of the plan. Really? But guess what? If they chase them, because the target goes through that in their earlier years, and what does that turn into? Entertainment. Something to swell someone else's ego. See how sprung they are? See how intimate they are? See how, you see that? So, okay, so they chased them. And then when they don't chase, then they was a gold digger, or they was faking, and they was all these other things. They must have planned, yeah, because people be telling on themselves. Their accusations are their confessions. That's what they did. There's a plan. Damned either way. This is why they end up going their own way. This is what gets them on the authentic, as bloody, gory, messy, and imperfect as it is. This is what gets them there. When they realize there's no winning with people who are programmed against you. It ain't a matter of loving the hell into them, the hell out of them. That's not gonna work. We've been there. We've done that. They lose respect for you. They already don't have none for you from the beginning. And they lose respect as you pine and as you try harder. Yeah, he's okay. He's just, we didn't get any sleep. I'll have him. Yeah,
No,
he's
he's
waiting.
fine. He's
Okay.
not-
Yeah, we didn't get to go to sleep. We went straight to the bus, stayed up all day, and then we had a 5 hour layover. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So we didn't get to, I thought we were going to sleep on the bus for some hours, and we didn't get to do any of that.
so
My
he's
apologies, dear, but
no.
we'll be out of y'all's way here in a
No,
second.
no. Take your time, okay?
Okay. um, oh, sorry, y'all. Excuse me. Apologies. But yeah, there's no winning. Listen, we've done it all. I'm talking about love relationships, family, friendships, business. The collective, the targets learn, honey. This is not about you being professional. It's not about you being in there going to a person and talking to them with, because that's what they teach you. You go get therapy and you go to college and you do all these things, and they teach you that it's all about the approach. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. It's your motive, and you're given all of this stuff. So they learn that and they go, okay, fair enough. I can respect that. And that doesn't matter when people are hell bent on controlling them. When people are already programmed to try to make them their Cinderella of their story, or Manderella for a guy, whatever you want to call it. So you can go in there and you can be calm, and you can, sandwich, give them the psychological sandwich where it's two compliments, the meat is in the middle, whatever the hard thing is, sandwich between, what I'm saying? That's an actual strategy, it's an approach. But it wouldn't matter. And trying to appeal to their humanity, that wouldn't matter, because it ain't that. This is how, for some of you want to know why the collective say what they say. Listen, this is how they found it out. It's not because they woke up, scratched and farted and decided it. It's trial and error, over and over again. And this is where they came up with that. Like, oh, okay, I see. It's no appealing to their humanity because it's not there. They objectify you as dollars and cents on a ledger. And that's just not a cute saying, that's the truth. It's the fucking truth. For whatever their reason, listen to last night. For whatever, well, yeah, for whatever reason. For whatever reason, it doesn't even matter. It's sickening. I'll tell you that. That this is what gets people off. That humanity has become so desensitized and numb, they don't even know it. And they're going to churches and synagogues and they're doing all this stuff, but they've lost connection to the conscious in which they think they still have. That's when you know you colonize. I mean, like, that's scary to me. To really be convinced you're on some good shit and you can't even see your own inhumane conduct. But you're on a high horse. Your nose up. Think you're superior. It's ignorance. Thinking it's funny to torture somebody disabled, watching them struggle and life be stolen. This is what got me to the place of disgust with the land. And that's where I made my mind up about a whole lot of things that I'll later discuss down the road of what's going to happen. So that's fucking disgusting. People waiting for spoils. I put curses on everything. I sure did. And I broke shit up. I'm gonna make it hard. You don't steal my son's life or mine and think it's gonna go well for very long.